Long ago the world was a place of perfect balance. The gods of the four winds, Boreas of the north, Notus of the south, Eurus of the east, and Zephyrus of the west, worked together in harmony. They brought the seasons, ensuring that life flourished with warmth, rain, and cold, each in its proper time. Mortals thrived under their care, and the seasons passed in a steady, predictable rhythm. But as centuries went by, Zephyrus, the west wind, grew resentful of his role. Unlike the north wind's powerful winter or the south wind's scorching summer, the west wind brought gentle spring breezes. While his siblings were revered by mortals for their strength and intensity, Zephyrus was seen as mild and tame. His jealousy festered, and he began to believe he deserved control over all the winds. In a moment of betrayal, Zephyrus unleashed a storm of fury against his siblings, seeking to claim dominion over the sky. The world below suffered greatly. Seasons became erratic, with snowstorms in summer and scorching heat in winter. Crops failed, the rivers dried up or overflowed, and entire civilizations began to crumble under the weight of the climate chaos. The remaining three wind gods fought back, but Zephyrus was relentless, twisting the winds into his control. The war in the heavens raged, causing violent hurricanes and unpredictable weather patterns that ravaged the earth. As the winds clashed, mortals realized they had no choice but to intervene. The fate of the world hung in the balance. In a small village untouched by the worst of the chaos, a group of mortals known as Windwalkers gathered. They were people gifted with the ability to sense and influence the winds, descendants of ancient ones who had once communed with the gods. Their leader, a young windwalker named Lyra, knew the task before them was dangerous but necessary. "We must journey to the heavens," she said, her voice strong despite the fear gnawing at her heart. "We must convince the gods to restore balance before the world is torn apart." The path to the heavens was not an easy one. Lyra and her companions, a warrior named Korn, the healer Mara, and an elderly sage called Tovin, had to traverse the storm peaks, a range of mountains where the sky seemed to meet the earth. These peaks were sacred, and it was said that only the most determined could find the celestial staircase that led to the realm of the wind gods. As they journeyed, they faced treacherous winds, wild and unpredictable, remnants of the gods' war above. Blistering gales from the north clashed with the arid heat of the south, while the chaotic forces of the west and east swirled violently through the air. The windwalkers, trained in the ancient ways, used their abilities to navigate through the madness, but even their skills were tested by the volatile winds. Each member of the group had a personal reason for their journey. For Lyra, it was about more than just saving the world. Her father had been a renowned windwalker, killed years before in an unnatural storm when the winds first began to fall out of balance. Korn's village had been destroyed by unseasonal floods, leaving him with nothing but anger. Mara had seen sickness spread when the seasons had twisted, and the crops that her people relied on had died in the ground. Even Tovin, who had lived through many changes, understood that the world could not survive much longer in this chaos. Finally, after many days, they reached the top of the storm peaks, battered but unbroken. Before them, the celestial staircase shimmered, a path of light and the air that ascended into the heavens. As they began their climb, they could feel the immense power of the wind gods swirling around them, each gust carrying the tension of the divine war above. Their ascent was slow and grueling. The closer they got to the realm of the gods, the more chaotic the winds became. It was as if the very sky was trying to shake them loose, to prevent mortals from interfering in the affairs of the divine. But Lyra led them forward, her determination unwavering. At the top of the staircase, the great gate to the wind gods' realm loomed before them. Beyond it lay their final challenge, convincing the gods to unite before it was too late. The realm of the wind gods was a vast expanse of swirling clouds, lightning crackling across the sky. It was here that the gods had once met in harmony to control the winds of the world. Now it was a battlefield. As Lyra and her companions stepped through the gate, they were greeted by the sight of Zephyrus, the west wind. Locked in battle with Boreas, Notus, and Eurus, the skies raged with their conflict, storms crashing through the heavens. "We have to stop this," Korn shouted, struggling to keep his balance as the winds howled around them. Lyra raised her hands, feeling the power of the winds rolling through her. Drawing on her wind-walking ability, she amplified her voice, sending it out across the chaotic realm. "Zephyrus, Boreas, Notus, Eurus, stop this madness." Her voice carried, cutting through the noise of the battle. The gods hesitated, their stormy conflict pausing for just a moment. Zephyrus, his eyes filled with anger and frustration, turned towards them. "You dare come here, mortals? This is beyond your understanding." Lyra stepped forward, unafraid. "You're destroying the world. The seasons are out of balance and life on Earth is dying. This isn't about who controls the winds. It is about preserving what you created." Boreas, the north wind, let out a deep rumbling sigh. "The mortal speaks the truth, Zephyrus. Look at what our war has done. We must end this." Zephyrus, however, wasn't convinced. "You speak of balance, but what balance is there for me? I have been cast aside and my power diminished. I deserve more." Lyra took a deep breath. "You are the west wind, bringer of spring and renewal. Without you there is no growth, no life. The world needs all the winds, Zephyrus. Without unity, we all perish." For a long moment there was silence. The other gods watched, waiting for Zephyrus to decide. Finally he lowered his head, the rage fading from his eyes. "Perhaps I have been blinded by envy." With that, the winds began to calm. The gods, realizing the truth in Lyra's words, came together once more, their power combining to restore the balance of the seasons. The divine war ended and the winds returned to their proper places. Lyra and her companions ascended the celestial staircase, knowing that they had saved not only the world, but the very essence of life itself.